we bring up my armoured car, my Luftwaffe squad and my Panzer Grenadiers, and we're gonna just bombard this base. In retaliation, he uses his riflemen to capture my victory point, so now I'm losing a lot of points to him, because he's still got the 1 victory point and I've got none. But once again, I'm not too fussed. I just want to lay down the fire against this building, and eventually we push them out. Back at my base, however, I get another Luftwaffe ground forces out, and I send them. They are very cheap. They only cost 260 manpower, and they do really well to fill your ranks. Just intimidate your enemy more than really you need to. So I now bring up my second armoured car, and I'm going to send that up to the left, and I'm going to recapture the land that I've lost with the help of the Luftwaffe squad. So we're going to take back all of this like fucking territory that he thought he could take from us. So the centre is now safely in the hands of the super Nazis. So I see that he's taking this fuel point with these rifle squad, and I'm like, okay, he thinks he has power, I show him power. So I send my armoured car around the victory point, and I allow the Luftwaffe squad to capture that. And instead I send my armoured car on a little Hello Kitty mission to go and destroy him, even though the car apparently sank into the ground, but whatever. So you can see though, the armoured car does take a lot of damage under rifle fire. I was just lucky that half of his units were distracted by actually capturing that building. I put on like the double super speed mode, which I didn't really know what it did. I was just curious, and it didn't really do much other than just make his infantry a bit more worried. But it was enough to scare him off, even though he could probably have actually won that battle in most circumstances. But hey, we're not worried about that. We're worried about actually just capturing land. So over here he brings a flame squad of engineers, and he uses these to burn my infantry. And this is a problem because I lose a lot of Panzer units. We fight off that first squad of flamethrowers, and I think, oh, okay, so only minimal casualties. We're pretty lucky. Unfortunately, he brings in another fucking squad of flamers. Yeah, as you can see, just everything goes to shit quicker than you can say WTF, what is happening here, my friends. And my people do a crouching party. And luckily I win that by the skin of my teeth, but I've lost too many units for these guys to be effective in battle anymore, so I just need to retreat them, give them reinforced numbers, and use them later on. In the meantime, my armoured car, I never actually figured out why this happened. It went spastic and it drove straight into the enemy base, and really I should have actually just kept it there because it was doing it was really keeping the enemy intimidated. But I realised that that was off, and I sent it back. Meanwhile, our Rhino has chosen the airborne battalion, and he's using this airborne squad to engage my Luftwaffe platoon. And yeah, in a one-on-one, airborne were always going to win this match. In fact, they were going to just dominate it. My Luftwaffe squad take pretty awful casualties, and I really can't do much to stop them. I bring up my armoured car and my Panzer Grenadiers with assault rifles to scare these guys off. And with overwhelming numbers, we swiftly eliminated that airborne squad and took this capture point back for ourselves. So right now, the left and the centre are held by me. He has the right flank with nothing, and all he has is a single rifleman squad, which you'd think, oh, I'd really push the attack, but I didn't expect to be in this position of power this early on in the game. So, bit of peace and quiet on the battlefield now, just recovering the armoured car, capturing points, blah blah blah. So he begins the next phase of his attack with a rifle squad. And my veteran armoured car supported with a Luftwaffe squad to try and make short work of those riflemen, but it's an engagement I don't really want to do for some reason. I can't remember why I didn't actually pick that fight. On the left, however, his airborne squad are back with a vengeance against my pretty weak Luftwaffe squad that I didn't retreat from the last engagement for some reason. Even the support from my armoured car doesn't do too much, but I think it's enough to hold these guys back. I can't remember. But with the armoured car in the background, it's a pretty even fight. But yeah, what he does is he upgrades these guys with the recoilless rifle. This makes the armoured car basically redundant. So I've got to just try and pin down this airborne squad. I retreat the Luftwaffe platoon, and I think he escapes. He does. I then bring up my infantry thinking, oh, this will be an easy win for me. But no, anything but that. he reinforces them constantly, and my units can't do the damage I was hoping for. In fact, they just get wiped off the face of the earth with that. I bring up another upgraded Panzer Grenadier squad with the MP44s, and then I just get pretty lucky here. He brings up his airborne all the way up there, and both of his recoilless rifle shots miss my armoured car, and I think for this reason he completely just fucks it up here, and he loses all of his airborne, apart from this guy who landed on his ship. So basically he only lost that because those recoilless rifle shots luckily missed my armoured car. In the meantime, I got this flak epic mobile, and yeah, I didn't know what it did, and I was curious to see how good it was in battle, so I was like, hey, let's just spend like 480 manpower on it and see what it does. So that was the point of this flak panzer. It's good at actually destroying airborne, so coincidentally, without realising it, I probably picked one of the best weapons of the Panzer Elite division to actually counter this airborne platoon. His airborne are back again against the veteraned-up, attack-powered MP44 squad, so unlike last time, my guys can actually put up a pretty damn-ass decent fight. Supported with the armoured car as well, which has been veteraned with defence. He didn't stand much of a chance, really, at all. So at this point, the Rhino guy says, good game, and yeah, so we're halfway through now, and I thought, oh, so he's giving up? I wasn't too sure. Turns out he wasn't. I think he just realised that he probably had a good chance that he was going to lose this now, that the whole of the map, like including this pathetic turret that basically served no point other than to just slow me down slightly. So he has nothing, and I was getting extremely cocky at this point. I thought, oh, okay, I'll just take over the map bit by bit, no problem with that. So I might cut ahead. I might cut ahead in a minute. If I do, then I'm sorry, but this is quite a dull bit of the game, but we'll catch up later. I really don't know what to say, guys. I noticed that I got a lot of videos on my latest Company of Heroes America Against Panzer Elite video, and I was really happy to see that many views in such a short space of time, so I'm hoping that I get more feedback, and if you guys want me to keep making these videos, then let me know. Or if you want me to focus on Command and Conquer or Rise of Nations, then all you're going to do is message me and I'll see what I can do about it. But seeing as most people seem to be viewing Company of Heroes at the minute, I'm just going to be churning these out for a little while longer and see what people make of it. So to try and fortify this position of the map, to try and corner him in, I make a flak turret. So that will stop his infantry from essentially getting over that bridge with any ease. And we'll probably see that in motion in a minute. But yeah, thinking that he was just giving up, I set my 2 armoured cars in for a bit of a fun moment with him, and I genuinely believed that he was giving up. And then I saw this recoilless rifle squad, and I realised that he still wanted to give this a pretty big go. Supported with his machine gun turrets, I was actually a bit scared to get engaged in this fight, even though I was really more or less winning it completely and utterly, but the turrets scared me away, and then as if to say, fuck you, he dropped off an airborne squad right in the middle of my armoured cars, which is just lovely, and actually was enough to, I think, to just scare my armoured cars away. And then, supported with his anti-tank gun behind his turret, he more or less disabled my Panzer Grenadier squad, and he's destroying my armoured cars. So just by hiding behind his turret, he's actually managed to fortify his position in such a way that I just can't break through for shit. And I lose, I think, in this engagement, 3 armoured cars? Maybe only the 2? Oh no, I only lost 1 armoured car. I was extremely lucky there. Oh, contradiction attack. Yeah, okay, I lost 2 armoured cars. Apparently that guy just went, oh dear, I steer left, and died. But okay, I'll agree with that logic. So he's going to bring his squad up behind that anti-tank gun. He's just going to try and push up. But unfortunately for him, I have this anti-tank thing that actually serves no purpose whatsoever really, other than to scare off his infantry. His anti-tank gun makes short work of that turret. It's a totally pointless build for the win, although it did at least do some damage to his airborne, which he quickly recovered. But hey, let's not complain.